Hey everybody! Oh my gosh, welcome back. Happy New Year, happy 2026. I genuinely hope that this year is filled with so much good plots, good stories, good characters, good people, and good feelings. All of the above for you all. I feel like you all deserve everything and more. I've been trying to curate a plan where I can balance my 9 to 5 and balance like all social media because I really do like making the vlogs that I post on here. It's just it takes so much that I just get overwhelmed very easily and my anxiety is just like no. So I've just been trying to balance so much, and this year I'm definitely excited to make a plan where I not only excel at my personal outside of social media but in this as well, because I've noticed that last year I definitely did focus on one platform and I neglected the others, and I definitely don't want to do that. This year I definitely am looking forward to kind of making these vlogs a little more um cohesive looking, one, and then two, of course, post regularly. I need to set up a schedule into where not just YouTube but Instagram and maybe even TikTok. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and talk about 3 books that we're going to be reading in today's vlog. These are books that I carried over to the new year with me because I just did not finish them, or I have literally just been in the middle of and never read again, just completely neglected them, because the last few weeks I was kind of busy and I didn't do as much reading as I would like. Um, First things first, let's start off with The Wolf King. This is actually going to be on my Kindle, and this is a buddy read with between me and Aleksandra, one of my friends, very good friends, love her, for my Bookstagram. I'm going to put her account here so you guys could go follow her, and I'm going to have a link in the description so you guys could check out her page. I love getting book recommendations from her. Her book taste, everything she reads, even though it might not be something I would personally read, I end up loving. And we wanted to do a buddy read for a while, so we decided on The Wolf King. So yeah, I'm very excited. I think we're about 21 to 22% into the book, and I'm definitely hoping to finish it during this video. Um, Two more books. I guess I can start with this one first. It's gonna be Lizzie Moore's The God of the Woods. I kept seeing this book everywhere, Target, Barnes and Noble, all the bookstores, and it looked definitely very, very intriguing. But I finally actually picked it up. Yeah, I actually read 37 pages of this thus far, but I am definitely going to start it from page 0 because I kind of was getting distracted, and I'm not gonna lie, I already forgot what it is I read within those 38 pages. But yes, that is something that I'm hoping to finish in this vlog. It is going to be a little bit challenging because it is on the thicker side, and also The Wolf King is about 400 something pages, so a little more thick than maybe what I'm used to. I don't know. And last but not least, I you have seen this everywhere. Tender is the flesh. Tender is the flesh. This book is the most vile, vividly written piece of work I have ever read thus far. And I'm not even that deep into it. I'm on chapter 4. It's a lot, to say the least, and I definitely find myself having to do some breaks in between this because this is too much. But I am looking forward to finishing it within this vlog. I think this technically counts as my fiction for the year because that's one of my reading goals. But without further ado, I hope you enjoy this reading vlog, and I will check in with you later when I have a reading update to do, maybe tomorrow, for you guys. everybody. I It's been actually a few days since I last spoke with you all, and I do have two major, I guess, updates. First being, I did finish the first book on this vlog, or the list on today's vlog. That being Tender is the Flesh by Agustina Batserica. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Listen, it is a fiction type of book, which, don't get me wrong, is great. And when I think about fiction, I think about Bronte's, Austen, authors like that. So it's like, am I wrong for that? I don't know. But I will say I do differentiate between a lot of genres, and fiction genuinely being something that's a little more, I guess, mature in a sense. Like, you're not, or not even mature, I think just a little more heavier, because this is actually like real life scenarios and stuff that you have. Like, the themes tend to be a little heavier. Maybe personally, just for me, I don't know what it is, but that's what I feel like when I read fiction. And I will say Tender is the Flesh is one of those books that is giving 1948, I think that's what it's called, by George Orwell. Oh my god, I look dead. Please do not come for me. I am editing right now and I really said 1948. Girl, 1984. Like, get it together, girl. That is so embarrassing. Okay, back to the vlog. I had to take so many breaks, and after I finished it, I was actually physically reading it by whatever I had left off, and it was just too much to where I ended up getting the audio for it because I couldn't physically stomach it. And if you're a person that, struggles a lot with certain topics, like a lot of gore, violence, blood, this is not the book for you, and it will make you sick. I think it's such an interesting concept, but then at the same time, while it's being played out in front of you, it is genuinely like very, very, very difficult to stomach that. I took 2 hours after listening to the audio and just sat numb, dead for 2 hours after reading this, because I just needed a mental break, physical break, a break of everything, because it just genuinely made me question, which, given what it is about, I say that it did a very great job of doing that. But at the same time, in the con side, is it did a very good job of doing that because it was just vile. And I don't know. I'm still thinking about it, but yeah. So after that, my plan, of course, you guys already know, was to read The God of the Woods by Lizzie Moore, and I decided to opt out on that because that was just a little too realistic for me. That I needed something fantasy. It's been a month and a half, maybe, since I last read anything in the fantasy genre. So what did I pick up? What is something I've been in the middle of since probably, I think it was November? Callie Hart's Quicksilver. I was on chapter 8, or I am on chapter 8. The last time I actually got to it in November was chapter 8. And I'm hoping to get this read within this vlog. I know it's a little thicker, and I don't know if it's the same size or a little smaller or bigger, I don't know, from The God of the Woods by Lizzie Moore, but I'm quite excited. I think I just was in a fantasy burnout when I stopped reading this book, but we'll see how it goes. So, it's going to be my slight change to my list for the vlog, the reading list, I guess. And yes, so Tender is a Flesh definitely got a 4 out of 5 stars, only because it was just too much. And maybe personally for me, it was a little much. And I don't know, it's something that I just, man, I don't know. I'm still really thinking about it, but yeah, so great piece of writing, and the writing for, she's my first time, it's my first time I read her books, but um the writing is phenomenal. But just beware that it's the very, very heavy, gruesome, violent, and if it's not for you, do not pick this up. Otherwise, go go at it, have fun. But yes, I think that's all the updates I had for you guys. I will check in with you guys maybe a little later because actually ended up picking up this copy of Wuthering Heights twice on accident, so I ended up mailing one to my bestie, Saturn, from my Bookstagram, and yeah, I thought it was kind of funny to mention, so. do not come for me. It's been quite a few days from the last update that I gave you. I listen. I got distracted with work, household stuff, books, hobbies, you know the vibes. So I'm officially back, and I finally have some very fun updates. Let's talk about our TBR. First up, Kelly Hart's Quicksilver. Now, as you guys know, I'm just trying to finish the books I was in the middle of 2025, and I'm trying to finish them all in January. I started this, I picked this back up and I was on chapter 8, and I think it only took me 3 to 4 days to finish all of Quicksilver. And here's what I will say. First off, before my impressions, I did come across a TikTok video last night about a girl saying that Quicksilver was not for her, and I'm not going to come for her because you know what? Even if it's a viral book or whatever viral book it is, it does not have to be for everyone. So if you're one of those people that does that, please don't do that. Please do not do that. Nonetheless, I came across this TikTok and she was saying that she just couldn't connect with the characters, and um, I guess she didn't have any depth and any connection to any of the main characters, and she felt like the plot was lacking a little bit. Which, okay, those things I understand where she's coming from because I had that same problem with the Cruel Prince series. I only read the first book, and it was a buddy read between my best friend and I, with Jude and I forgot the dude's name, the prince name. I don't know. The only thing I think I remember about that book is something about someone having a tail, okay? I do not remember anything else because I completely blacked it out from my brain. I just did not care, did not feel any attachment to these characters. I felt like some of the book was kind of slow. And so I get where she's coming from when you have that lack of connection with said character, especially with a book that's 610 pages long or so. It's going to make it a little miserable for you because you're going through phases of these characters and you just kind of are going through the motions because you're not necessarily enthralled into what they're doing, I guess. And I do agree a little bit where she says that some of the plot did end up lacking quite a bit. I do understand that, and I did kind of pick up that feeling a little bit, but let me tell you something. The thing that made it a 6-star read for me, Kingfisher. Okay, listen, Kingfisher is where it's at. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Why is he always grumpy? Why is he always having an attitude? Why? Wouldn't we love to find out? I just think it's very funny. I love him, and I fear no more. Brimstone is already in my grimy little hand, so that's gonna be read very, very soon in this channel. So, but yes, I really did like it, and I think that personally I was able to connect to the characters, and I think that I haven't really read a book about Faye, but then again, I haven't read a lot, but I think that the way that they used Ceres, or the way that they needed Ceres, was such a unique thing, and then the world was quite unique in and of itself as well. And I don't know. I was just obsessed with all the characters. I liked the plot. I think I also read it in a perfect time to where I had abandoned the fantasy genre in and of itself for all of December, as I told you. And this was definitely one of the books that, well, the first fantasy book I completed during this month that was definitely a re-entrance back to the genre. And I couldn't ask for a better book to hop back into fantasy with. So that was definitely my first 5-star of 5-star read of 2026. Now let's go ahead and talk about my e-read on my Kindle, The Wolf King by Lauren P. I will not be pronouncing her last name because I am not rude enough to butcher it because I just can't. Now, this is also another, or not another, but book 2 that is definitely a 5-star read of 2026. Think about a wittier, maybe even lighter kind of sassy-ish Akatar, or but in terms of actual wolves instead of fae and stuff, like a quirkier Twilight if Bella would have stayed with Jacob. With Jacob, I guess. I don't know. That's kind of the vibes, and the characters definitely did resemble. Like Blake to me personally resembled. I was telling this to Aleksandra. Blake in The Wolf King definitely does resemble a lot of Reese's characteristics and attitude, very sassiness. So I don't know. I really did enjoy this book, and this is actually a trilogy. The second book is called The Night Prince. I believe it's called The Night Prince. And again, Aleksandra was graceful enough to finish before me and wait for me to finish The Wolf King before starting book 2. And we actually just found out recently that this is actually going to be a trilogy, and book 3 is going to be released during the summertime of this year. Last and final book. I don't know what it's called yet, but I'm very excited for that. Let's do a little recap of the 3 books I did end up finishing on this vlog. Okay, first book that we obviously ended up reading was Tender is the Flesh by Agustina Pasterica. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that right. And I did end up giving this our 4 stars. Just if I do recommend, but very trigger warnings, and if you're not into some gruesome type of thing that you can't stomach, maybe not the read for you. Book 2 that I ended up finishing was Callie Hart's Quicksilver. Again, Kingfisher. Kingfisher. 5 out of 5. First 5-star read of 2026. And lastly, of course, last but not least, The Wolf King by Lauren P. Again, another 5-star read, and hopefully I will give you an update on Rival Darlings. And if you do want to get a kind of faster review on that book, make sure to be checking out my Bookstagram account, because I will probably post it on there before I post it on here, because I have to edit and whatnot. So if you're curious about how that ended up for me, go ahead and follow that. Check that out. Thank you all for watching the video, and I'm very happy to be back. So I hope you have a lovely evening, afternoon, night, morning, rest of your day, whatever time it is you're watching. But I will see you guys in the next vlog.